Hey, Sag. So I've been busy trying to get these birthday readings done, so that's just an FYI where I've been. But let's take a look at the weekend. Your theme for the weekend seems to be about responsibility to others. That is how I like see this card. Although there is a couple here, it could be your responsibility in a relationship, but I tend to see it as responsibilities to other people, you know, especially since we're seeing a bridge and the hands. These are the helping hands, if you will. Yeah. So, you know, it feels like you might be working, right? Because we're seeing like this is taking responsibility over money specifically, doing the right things when it comes to money, and maybe even in your household, or you might be helping others with that. But it feels like someone literally, there's kind of like a, I don't know if you would call it a curveball, but there's a draining person here, energy vampires. Um, Energy vampire with blind date, meaning a surprise meeting. I feel like you may be running into someone. It feels very much like I'm running into this person when I am not at my best, right? It's like you want running into this person to be a good thing, but it's kind of like it's the worst possible time. That's what it feels like. You're trying to boss up here, and you may even be dealing with other people and responsibility to other people. And like, I don't feel like this is someone draining your influence so much as, or draining your energy so much as it's everything draining your energy. It's kind of like that. I don't have time for this right now. And this person very much wants you to have time. That's for sure. So that could create some sort of awkwardness between you, right? Because I don't feel, and that may even, you may have to think about how you're reacting in the moment. You know, specifically, are you reacting like this is a big imposition? And it isn't that, it's just all the other things that make this just not a good time, because we're seeing influencer status. Um, it's kind of like, it feels like work because it's social recognition, and there's patience being required with like people who want your attention. And I feel like that's this situation, if I'm being real with you. But we're going to take a look. What was really neat was, on the bottom of the deck, we see the star and the Six of Swords. So I do feel like there might be a situation here where you're needing assistance, where assistance might help. It's like being overloaded, and it's coming, slowly but surely. FYI. It's kind of telling you in the future things won't be so difficult. So tell me about this responsibility. 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 What do we need to know about that? You know, I have a bone to pick with people who make cards. Look, there's a book in here too, a guidebook. And that is, I feel like they make them, I know they're trying to make them be sturdy, but they make them too thick. I don't know, is there a way you can make tarot cards thin yet sturdy? Because the thinner ones really, really shuffle better. So let's start this again. So what's the responsibility about? And if this is a date, you absolutely cannot go. And that's part that's part of the problem, right? So yeah, 3 of Swords with the 6 of Wands. Okay. So this is about solving people's problems. It is. It just is. And you're successfully doing that, you know. Tell me about the CEO energy. Money matters. CEO. I feel like you're definitely like leading people in this situation past their problems. But that's so much Sag energy, right? Geez, Sag. A lot came out for this making money. Money moves. 3 of... Okay. 3 of Wands, which is interesting. It's interesting that that it's teamwork. I never noticed that before. So there could be problems with getting people to work together, and that is where you're bossing up in this situation because you are making it happen. You have the answer. You're the peacemaker here. It's kind of too like you... Maybe this has happened before, and it may be something that continually happens. Yeah. It is. And I feel like it also has to do with people wanting to do things a different way or their own way. And it's that causes a conflict because where we can be individuals and things. But when it comes to work, there are like particular ways things work, right? For sure. It could also be another opportunity coming in, maybe a second job or something. But something about this conflicts because we have the 5 of Wands. I can't help but think that whatever this new way is and it's being offered by someone, it causes big problems. Because what ends up happening is it causes problems for people to work together. And I feel like this may be an issue you keep running into, is getting people to work together or getting them on the same page, because people keep wanting to just like do things their way. It very much feels that way. And, you know, it doesn't work for the group. It makes people mad. It makes people fight. And then it's all of a sudden, it's like, then we're just fighting. We're not working, right? And it's just really interesting to me because I do feel like this is a work situation and you are in charge here. I would say that. And it just throws, when the team don't work, nobody works, right? Interesting. So tell me about this other energy here, this blind date surprise. Page of Swords reversed. Like someone you haven't heard from in a while. Tell me about this surprise meeting. Surprise. I feel like you spend like the whole weekend troubleshooting. Maybe like, especially when it comes to people fighting over how to do things. And that may not just be a work situation. Oh my goodness. Page of Swords. Like, this kind of feels like this person's held themselves back or has been away for a while and tells you, I've been thinking about you. I've been dealing with stuff. Five of Swords. Yeah. This person's been kind of just busy. I know, we don't want to hear that, right? Just busy, but they still have feelings for you. They're kind of afraid that you won't hear their feelings. And I don't think it's that you won't, you just kind of, in this space of time, it feels like you don't have time. Like, that's what, or it's not the right time or something. Tell me about divine timing. Like, it's not the right time to put attention on this for some reason. Yeah. Oh. Six of Cups and the Fool. This is wow. That's a lot of, like, divine stuff going on, right? This is someone you have known, someone you probably have good memories with. It's a fresh start, a new beginning. One of the birthdays got this too. Maybe this is something too that, like, was never the right time. I don't know. Because I feel like timing has something to do with it. Yeah, like Eight of Wands reversed with the Sun. I feel like and you may tell them this too, and I don't know how well it will be received because they're not, it feels, you just don't have time to talk right now, right? This can't move quickly. There could really even be a delay, but you are, like with the Sun, you're open to it, and you're open to receiving the information, I should say. Nine of Pentacles, but work comes first. You have to deal with this situation. I feel like you feel good about it. I feel like you even feel good about this person. There's just something about it with everything else going on that you've got to deal with this situation because it's stressful. Let's just say that. You know, it could even be people at home you can't get to work together. On some level, you can't get people to work together. And there's fighting. And for once, it isn't you fighting with people. It's other people fighting with people. And I find all of that really interesting. So if this is your story, you'll have to let me know how that works out. So let's give you a affirmation for the weekend. Because that was a lot. But we are Sagittarians. We bring it all in. What's the affirmation for the weekend? I set healthy boundaries with kindness. And I feel like that's what you're doing exactly. And I also feel like you're saying to this person, I'm so glad to see you. I am just a little overwhelmed right now. And so, you know, can we do this later? Without making them feel bad. I really feel that. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope it really helps. Toodles.